I think, when you talk about what is Shedeur Sanders' upside going to be this year and what he's planning to do or what he might look like, I think it has a lot to do with the order in which these guys are going to be playing. Whether it's Kenny, one of the veterans we assume will start the season off, whether that's Pickett or Flacco. We asked the guys, they believe that Dylan Gabriel would get the first opportunity unless something changes in the preseason, during some of the preseason games. But if you have Shedeur Sanders, right, how many games do you need to see him in order to evaluate what his upside is?
Shedeur Sanders just flipped the NFL on its head with a contract clause so bold even his dad, Dion, had to double-check the fine print. Prime equity, what is that? Stock options with swagger? Did Shedeur just become the CEO of QB1? Stay tuned, because this ain't just football anymore. It's Wall Street meets highlight reel, and the owners are sweating like it's 4th and goal. Trust me, you've never seen a rookie move like this.
I have a PhD in quarterback observation. Trust me. He's the best quarterback in the room. I have a PhD in quarterbacking, and I say it here loud and clear. Nobody knows quarterback play like me. I don't give a damn what nobody say, because I done played with a bunch of them.
14.
He's better than Dylan Gabriel. He's better than Kenny Pickett. He's better than an old Joe Flacco that's going to give you 3-4 games but can't give you 17. He's better than that.
It's a valid point.
And Deshaun Watson is, he's rehabbing, so he's out in the back room somewhere. That's the way I look at it.
The NFL thought it had seen it all. Salary caps, franchise tags, rookie holdouts who think they're the second coming of Tom Brady before their first snap. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared them for this. Shedeur Sanders didn't just walk into the league like some wide-eyed rookie happy to be there. No, he strutted in like a Silicon Valley CEO who just accidentally bought a football team while ordering coffee.
I think, when you talk about what is Shedeur Sanders' upside going to be this year and what he's planning to do or what he might look like, I think it has a lot to do with the order in which these guys are going to be playing. Whether it's Kenny, one of the veterans we assume will start the season off, whether that's Pickett or Flacco. We asked the guys, they believe that Dylan Gabriel would get the first opportunity unless something changes in the preseason, during some of the preseason games. But if you have Shedeur Sanders, right, how many games do you need to see him in order to evaluate what his upside is?
The NFL bigwigs gathered around the boardroom table thinking they were about to finalize a standard rookie deal, the usual. Sign here, smile for the cameras, and get ready to be overworked and underpaid. Instead, what they got was a masterclass in generational disruption. Because tucked inside that neat little contract package wasn't just a signature, it was equity. Yes, equity in the team. The audacity, the vision, the pure chaos. Shedeur didn't come to play in the NFL, he came to own it. You could hear the collective gasp from 32 front offices echo across the league. Meanwhile, one confused GM fainted at the word profit sharing. Another asked if this meant Shedeur was now his boss, and somewhere an old school coach tried to fax a complaint to 1997.
Growing up in the limelight, you knew that being Deion Sanders' son is going to come along with a different degree of scrutiny. So again, I'm not calling anybody out their name or calling anybody out a liar, but I will say it's just hard for me to believe that he would be, quote, unprofessional when it comes to the biggest job interview.
Do people believe that Shedeur has the makeup to be a backup quarterback? And what I mean by that is, generally speaking, we saw it with Jameis Winston. Jameis didn't do nothing wrong, but some people was like, oh my goodness, the backup quarterback is talking. Coaches don't be like, they don't like noise. I think alone from the specter of what Shedeur Sanders is, I think most people are going to want to see him as a starter. And that's kind of deep to deal with, especially when you got to deal with people that's sitting behind somebody. So I think.
Because here's the thing, Shedeur Sanders didn't just ask for a check, he asked for a stake. He basically said, if I'm putting my body on the line, I'm also getting a seat at the table, preferably one with stock options and quarterly earnings. And that's when every crusty exec who still thinks crypto is a coffee blend completely lost it. You see, this wasn't just some financial flex, this was a cultural earthquake. The NFL operates like an elite country club where ownership is sacred and players are told to be grateful for complimentary water bottles and post-game pizza. But Shedeur, he showed up like, nice franchise, I'll take 3%, maybe 5% if I lead you to the playoffs. And just like that, the league had an existential crisis.
$250 million in rookie jersey sales for Shedeur Sanders, which means he's going to commission $14 million. He only made $4.6 million from his rookie contract. So he's already made more than most second, third, whatever rounders. This is a sign for anybody out there that feels like they've been done wrong. You are always going to end up on the right side if you are a good person. Shedeur has been doing nothing but keeping quiet.
I have a PhD in quarterback observation. Trust me. He's the best quarterback in the room.
The legal department scrambled. The accountants had heart palpitations. One team's owner reportedly tried to throw his phone into the ocean. Didn't work, it bounced off his yacht. But Shedeur had receipts. NIL money? He's been pulling in more cash in college than some third-string NFL QBs make in 3 seasons. Brand deals? Please. He doesn't sign endorsements, he signs partnerships. And this isn't just a flex, it's a precedent. Because what happens when other athletes realize they don't have to just be employees? What happens when rookies start asking, hey, where's my equity clause? Chaos, that's what happens. And somewhere in a dark room, Roger Goodell's eye twitched as he realized the league just got Silicon Valleyed. But Shedeur's not just changing contracts, he's changing the narrative. NFL players have always been told to know their place, run fast, lift heavy, smile for the camera.
Yes, and you don't believe that.
But, you know, guys, here's the facts. Like, all of us in the media who watched the film had him somewhere between the first, maybe the third. There was some disconnect in the pre-draft process.
Right.
I think Peter's making an interesting nuanced point. When you have an agent, you're getting active feedback that you could react to. Maybe you go back in for another visit. There was some disconnect in the pre-draft process, Gree. There's no other way to reconcile his ability and the result of what happened.
Right. And so, Matt, what?
It's just disgusting. It's disgusting.
Great kid, and whether it's a following that he's earned, I mean, that's something that he's done a great job of interacting with fans. And but he is a great kid. You guys will get to know him more. He's working like crazy, just like all the guys. He's another young man. These rookies, you know, my office is downstairs. As they got to walk by my office as they come in. They come in early. And Shedeur, just like all those guys, he's in there early. He's getting his work done. So he's working really hard. I like everything there.
Let the billionaires handle the boring ownership stuff. But Shedeur saw through it all. He saw the playbook and decided to rewrite it with a pen made of gold and dipped in generational wealth. Of course, not everyone is thrilled. Anonymous scouts are already whispering things like distraction and not a team guy, which is NFL speak for he's smarter than us and we're panicking. And let's be honest, half these teams still think a progressive contract is paying players in US dollars instead of Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the internet exploded. Twitter, or whatever Elon's calling it this week, turned into a Shark Tank crossover episode. Instagram flooded with memes of Shedeur wearing a suit, shaking hands with himself in the mirror, and signing deals like he's the commissioner now. Spoiler, he might as well be.
I certainly never heard of no Dylan Gabriel or Tyler Shock. What the hell is that? So how is Shedeur Sanders going behind them? I'll tell you how. It's collusion.
Whoa.
4 different times they passed on him. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. Shedeur Sanders with the watch. Shedeur Sanders with his bravado. Shedeur Sanders with this supposed arrogance or whatever. He's still bald. Brother can play.
Offense is so explosive because these are serious, big-time, top-of-the-line playmakers that they have. If you can go 45-42 in the fourth quarter because your quarterback set the school record with 510 yards passing. He was flawless. Shedeur is big-time. I didn't know for sure, will it translate to the next level of competition? Yes. It might translate to the next level of competition as he can play on Sunday.
Even college kids took notes. Business majors changed their thesis topics overnight. Economics professors started using his deal as a case study. And one high school QB apparently just told his coach, "I don't throw spirals for free, sir. I'd like 0.2% of the snack bar profits." So what happens now? Well, teams are going to have to start adjusting. The old rules don't apply anymore. You can't just throw money at talent and expect gratitude. You've got to throw vision, ownership, and maybe a cut of the merchandise line. Because the next generation doesn't just want a jersey. They want their name on the stadium. And Shedeur, he's probably in a suite somewhere, sipping something expensive, watching the chaos he created unfold on NFL Network.
I think this kid, Shedeur, I think this kid is going to rise to the top. And by the somewhere middle of the season, I think this kid is going to be our starting quarterback.
I think Sanders will be the first quarterback picked off the board. He should be. In the film that I've seen of a lot of the top guys, I think he's an excellent thrower. You can't really confuse him. I've seen a lot of different teams try to manipulate coverage and disguise, and he does a really good job pre-snap to post-snap.
Because this isn't just about football. This is about leverage, about players realizing they don't have to be the product. They can be the brand. And in Shedeur's case, the brand is bold, brilliant, and backed by equity. So the next time a GM slides a rookie deal across the table, they better read it twice, because that standard language might just include a rider for private jet hours, partial team ownership, and exclusive NFT rights to touchdown celebrations. The NFL wanted the next great quarterback. They got a boardroom tycoon in cleats.